Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Starry Good Academy.
Evening. Sir.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, ma. My name is Shonibara David, and I'm the one who is going to be taking this particular course, Strategic Business Reporting. And this is meant to be our first class. Going to give us a privilege, although whenever I come on board, I start my class immediately. I don't wait for student to join my class or for the class to get filled before I begin my class. So that's why we have it 7 o'clock to 8 p.m. So this is going to be an introductory class to the course. As we all know, it's our first class of the diet, and it's not nice for us to go in depth on some of the things we'll be looking at with respect to this course. And also, it's very important is new. Let me say, would I say it's new? It's not new per se, but this particular SBR is one of those courses that got affected by the syllabus change, which was previously called corporate reporting, but as we have it now, it's called strategic business reporting. So there are things that I believe, or we believe, Star Good Academy believes. As a lecturer, I believe that you should have understanding about. I don't know if we have reference students here, or we have students that have actually heard about corporate reporting, or you've written financial reporting. Of course, it won't be nice for you to also prepare for strategic business reporting the same way you have actually been preparing for corporate reporting. All right. I want to delve into some things. I need to get my screen. I want to share some particular slide that can actually assist us um go along in this particular class. But before I do that, let me give us I'll be back in, let me say, 5 minutes. Let me just see if we can have a good turn up, because there are certain things I wouldn't like for some of us to miss. It's very important. I want to talk about certain things, and it's quite important that I have a number of, at least each number of us in class. So let me give us that time. Please reach out to those of us that have not joined. Reach out to your friends, reach out to your colleagues, reach out to everyone. It's going to be a promising, very interesting 1 hour class. Then I'll also give us some things I will be sharing, you know, let me say the course content. I want to make some changes to the course content. I got some things I want to include, so I'll be dropping that on the Telegram platform after the class. So let me just leave that aside. I'll be talking about, it's going to be an interesting one. Trust me, you get to learn one or two things. I don't know if some of you, I don't know if I have some of my students in this class, probably from skills. Okay, I don't know if I've taught you at the skills level, or probably you've known me somewhere else. Can you just have your hand raised? I want to know if some of us have been able to be on that, probably my lecture, or probably you've known me from somewhere else before. Let me so that I can actually know. Is there anyone here? Okay. Let me just get muted and wait for. I'll be back in 5 minutes. Let's see how the turn up is going to be. Thank you. All right, welcome back, everyone. Please, if you can hear me, give me a 111 in the chat box. Sorry for the time taking. I just wanted us to have a how would I put it, a good number of us in the class before I begin. It's my first class. It's subsequent classes. I will not wait. Honestly, that's my method of actually taking. Once I come in class into the class at 6:58, I wait till 7. Once it is 7, I kickstart my class. Please give me a 111 if you can hear me. Give me a 111 in the chat box if you can hear me. There are some things I would some instructions I'll be passing. Um, okay, good, good. There are some instructions I'll be passing. Being our first time in class. So the first thing I want us to know is that this particular class is meant to be a complementary class for our video classes, video lectures, right? So I don't want you to come to this class with the belief that, oh, this particular lecturer would cover everything in the topic, everything in the syllabus. I'll be very realistic with you. That is not possible in that 1 hour. This is a 1 hour class and it's a clarity class. I don't know if it's a catch-up class. It's meant to be a catch-up class. It's meant to be a clarity class. So let me just take us down memory lane. I've been the one lecturing this particular topic, this particular course before it was changed to SBR. I've been lecturing corporate reporting. I'm covering this particular course, and by God's grace, I've had more than 500 students that have actually passed this course over the course of 5 years that I've actually been lecturing this particular course, corporate reporting with Starry Good Academy. And one thing I want to tell you is that before we switch to Google Meet, it's already a year and a half that we switched to Google Meet class. Started Google Meet class in 2024. So we had a call, we had a management meeting where we looked at what was actually visible for us, right? Before now, many of us are aware that no Starry Good Academy, we used to carry out our classes on Telegram, strictly Telegram. It used to be like a chat, end-to-end chat, right? And we felt there was no good communication enhance communication because of the Telegram class, and you see we have only maybe 5 people online. We have maybe just 6 people responding. Many people, Telegram has a very great audit trail. What I mean by audit trail is that you can miss the class and still come back and reach the stats, right? So we needed like an active. At first, I'm just teaching the class, and it looks like, oh, I'm, I'm talking to myself. That was how it felt like then. Many lecturers could actually understand that, and they went through that. So we felt we needed a good platform where, and we tested this at the end of the diet every year. Every diet, we used to have a revision live class where students come on Google Meet. We have like direct communication live class with the students. They get to ask questions. Lecturer gets to solve questions on areas that they believe, oh, they are highly testable that particular diet. So we felt if this can actually go well, that was a 2 hours or 1.5 hour class, then we can actually move our classes itself to Google Meet, right? And that's the major reason why we have our Google Meet classes now. So it does not look, I don't want, it's very important that we have the same knowledge gap. I'm sorry, we are the same level of knowledge, so there won't be knowledge gaps, right? It's very important. So that's the major reason why I'm saying this now. Because you see many students come to this class and they're expecting me, oh, when I'm done for the day, but probably I introduce a particular standard IFRS 15 revenue from contracts with customers, and someone will be like, oh, sir, you did not treat when performance obligations should be recognized, or you did not take us through the 5 step, you did not finish the 5 step model and all of that, or you did not even talk about sale and lease back transactions and all of those things, right? I'm meant to come to this class and flow. You should give me the flow, right? You should give me the flow in which I'm going to go. So what I mean by clarity class is every week we do something. Would have dropped the topic for the week on the Telegram class. I'm very sure many of us here on the Telegram class. If you're on the Telegram class, please just give me a reaction. If you're on the Telegram platform, just give me a reaction so that I will know. I believe many of us, good. Adebayo Kayode, thank you so much. Mr. Oluwole Samuel, I thank you. I appreciate that. So many of us, I can see many of us are on the Telegram class, platform rather. So whatever information, whatever thing that we need, definitely will be shared there. So when we get to attend our live class, our Google Meet classes, we would be reviewing the topic for the week or the topics for the week, right? And what I mean by reviewing, it's you coming with gray areas, right? Gray areas that you have actually encountered issues, areas that you felt, oh, you did not really understand what the lecturer was talking about in the video lecture. Definitely, very definitely, you are coming to class to do what? You're coming to class to discuss your issues or your gray areas, or probably it might not even be an issue. It might just be, oh, you felt you read further and you felt, oh, it's very important for students and your fellow colleagues to know about. It's a learning platform, right? Even the lecturer himself, yeah, I'm coming to class, I learn every day. There's no one that is an island of knowledge, right? So I think that's the major thing when we come to this class. And one thing I'm trying to bring out of this is that it's going to be an interactive class. So I want you to get your mind prepared. It's going to be an interactive class. It's not like, oh, we'll just come here and be talking. One person will just be talking. And it's going to be like, oh, a lecturing. This is not a lecturing class. This is a clarity call. Or let me say, it is how would I put it? A review class, right? A review class, review session. What was the topic? So the thing is, before I leave the class, I will tell you, oh, this is the topic you are looking at next week. Please go back and do your assignment on it, read it, digest it, and all. So it's very important, because if I come to class now and let's say I pick IS 16, talking about PPE, property, plant, and equipment, and I'm talking about, oh, how you should go about your subsequent measurements, talking about the cost model and the fair value model. I'm referring to some things there, and you are just looking at me. You don't understand what I'm talking about. How do you expect us to be on the same page? So we should be on the same page, right? When I come to class, I just give you like a brief detail about what you should look out for that particular topic and all of that. right? So you do not expect me to have it to run like a full class. I believe you understand what I'm talking about. So that being said, um, I greet us all. Welcome. I think that's the first thing to note, that this is a review class, not a lecture in itself, and it's meant to complement video lectures. If you have not got to the video lectures, you are snoozing on it. I'm telling you, you are actually missing out, because getting our video lectures entitles you to go to the members area. You'll be added to the members area, where you get to have access to a lot of materials that are actually useful for you to pass the examination. We have a 30-day success blueprint. We have weekly questions. Now, how the weekly, from experience, weekly questions have actually, people that solve weekly questions that we drop on the Telegram platform have excelled in their exam. They have really excelled in their exams. And from experience, yeah, if you ask people that have actually, sorry, people that have actually been able to like solve their weekly questions whenever we drop it, I mean, they get to like practice it, understand some rudiments, some mistakes that they've made, and all of those things. And trust me, they're actually going to do well in their examination. Me myself, that's talking about 6 years ago, I was also in your shoes. I was also a student of Starry Good Academy, right? I was also a student of Starry Good Academy, and I passed through all of this. Some of the lecturers that lecture with you here actually lectured me, right? And even some lecturers are actually lecturing. I lectured them also. So we have great minds. I'm just saying this generally in terms of Starry Good Academy. They have great minds here. Trust me, you cannot be any other place in any other place than here. We give you all our best. We give you everything that you need to pass. It's now left to you. Like I used to say, many will know me. I love to say, lecturer cannot give you more than 40% of what you need to pass. You are the one that will acquire the rest, right? I've seen diets I cannot do more than myself. I have seen diets where I've solved life questions, questions that when it was tested, because the way I actually treat my questions, or my weekly questions that I set, are usually from Ican parts, they're usually from ACCA, they're usually from ICAW, a lot of benchmarking of a lot of good institutes, professional institutes, because that's where I can get their question from. And I actually took a particular question from ACCA that diet and I solved it. I remember it was on strategic financial management, because I lecture strategic financial management also. And I solved it in class only for students to see this. Something very, in fact, not, I can just tweak the question around and, change the name, the figures. They didn't change the figures. If you have known your figures, you just, no need for you to punch your calculator. And question number one, 30 marks, and they threw it. And it was quite surprising that students came outside and they were still telling me that they were encountering challenges. Right. So that's why I say, even if I solve life question for you, that will come out in the exam. Some students will have issue. So that's why I said you cannot give students. I've been doing this for long. I've been lecturing even before I qualified, and this is something that I've actually known for long, that you cannot give more than 40%. But 40% is lecturer being very generous. Right? You cannot give more than 40% of what the student needs to pass. What they need, you need to sit. No one can pass the knowledge into you. Even me that I'm talking today, before I could actually get to this level, I have certain hours I've sat down to acquire the knowledge, right? It's not like immediately I was being taught. And that's the major reason why you see at times you attend classes, the lecturer, oh, in class, you are so happy. Oh, I got the way he solved this. I got this. The message was very clear, very understandable, and all of that thing. When you get home, you sit down trying to study what you have actually taught, that you were taught in class that particular day. You now be asking yourself, oh, how did they get this 50,000 here? I don't know if you have, if you are here and you've that thing has actually happened to you. Give me a reaction, please. Give me a reaction. If that thing has happened to you before, give me a reaction. I want to be sure that I'm not talking to myself. You just sit down and say, let me revise on this thing. You be looking, but this NC, how did they arrive at this NC? And you're in class, right? You now need to start calling your fellow colleagues that, oh, sorry, how did you get this thing here? How did they get this thing here? Thank you, Mr. Peter Prince. Mr. Oluwole. These things can be very funny and very tricky, right? So, and many times when I see students, they come to me, I get messages on a daily basis, students complaining, oh, how do I pass ICANN? How do I do this thing? ICANN is not a one size fits kind of exam. I cannot advise you on the best method to pass Ican. I can just give you, certain general principles that will help, because there's no general principle to help. You see some people, they will say they didn't attend classes and they passed 5 papers or they passed 4 papers at one sitting. Some of them just say, oh, they did self-study and all of those things. And you'll be like, oh, I attended classes, I did this, I did that. So the idea is for you to find what works for you, right? The idea is to find what works for you. You are, you are a working class person, and you're actually sitting for account. You need to talk to yourself. Oh, one of the greatest things that you can actually look out for is time. Time. One of my great mentor and spiritual father, Bishop Oyedepo, said something that you know, um, if he wishes he can actually get more than 24 hours in a day. And trust me, for someone to have spoken that, someone saying, I wish I can actually get more than 24 hours. I wish, if he has one wish in this life, wish he can get maybe 27 hours out of 20, definitely that time is of the essence, right? As you started your icon, one thing that I would advise you not to joke with is time. Time is very paramount. 1 minute is important. 1 hour is very important. Few seconds, few minutes can change your career trajectory. Some of us, we have seen those jobs adverts that they will say ICANN, ACA, an added advantage. Many of us have seen that ACA, an added advantage. Some of us are looking at this particular qualification to change our career trajectory. Some of us want to use it to get promoted. Some of us want to. ICANN is a master key, right? ICANN is a master key. I like to call it master key because the ICANN, you can unlock a lot of certificates. You can write ECCA just 4 papers with your ICANN instead of going through from from the scratch. You can get SEMA just writing the strategic case study. You can actually get, now funniest thing, CITN, you can get direct membership. A lot of institute like that, direct membership, Institute of Chartered Accountant England and Wales, CPA Canada. Yes, you can get to cross over there with your ICANN. There's an MOU that has been signed last year, right? So the opportunity that awaits you on the other side is so much. It's just too much. Right? It's just too much, right? Oh, we are just learning about that. So Mrs. China, I don't know, or Izu. You're just learning about that. Please, you cannot. The opportunity is much. Some of us that are qualified today, we I see us amassing certificates, getting this. It's because of ICANN is the master key. You can use it to unlock a lot of certificates. That's why I like to, before I actually do anything in my classes. In fact, I lecture PSAV, I lecture SFM, I lecture some other courses. My first class, this is what I do. I try to charge you up, right? Just to make you geared. Because I used to say something that one thing that success, if you want to achieve success, it starts in the mind. Mind is the playing ground where success will begin from. So if you don't have a change of orientation, you don't have a change of mind, whatever you do not see, you cannot behold it, right? You need to visualize whatever you want to see. This is my motivational speaking thread coming out now. So you need to envision it. Whatever you want to get, you need to first see it. You need to first imagine it in the art, right? Just like the Bible also says that, as a man thinketh, so is actually going to be. So you cannot, whatever you do not think in your mind, you cannot envision it, right? So you need to have a change of orientation. You need to have a change of mindset. Now, okay, this is what I want. This is what I want, and I'm going to get it, right? So that's how it's very important for us to just be geared, prepare your mind. And one thing I want to tell you is, one key thing that I want to tell you is there is no particular way to pass an exam. There's no particular way. If anyone is in the right place to tell you this, I think I am, with about 6 years lecturing professional level, and with about 6 years of being qualified, with about I started my account from the 8 years level. So this I've been in the system for close to a decade now. So, and I've lectured consistently at the 8 years level, at the professional level also. So, and I've met with thousands of students. I'm not exaggerating here. Thousands of students. Check the Telegram platform. How many students are on the platform? And I've been doing this for about 5 years now with Starry Good Academy. So imagine number of students that must have qualified through me, right? So I'm talking from experience. Certain things that certain students, some students are actually very smart, right? But one general thing that would work for you in writing Ican exam is your preparation and time. It's very important. For someone like me now, I'm a slow learner, right? I like to call myself a slow learner, but whatever I read, call me, refer me back to years to come. I would always remember it. I will always tell you and brief you on it. So that's I think that's my own method of learning. I think there's some people like that. And there are people that immediately you tell them something, they get to like or immediately they read something. They don't need to read it over and over again. Me like this, I have to do an active recall. I have to go back. There's something called active recall. After you have read, you have to sit without your book, try to write everything you know about
Easy now.
it, right? So you need to look at okay. So someone like me now, when I read the first time and I'm trying to catch it because I don't get, I tend to like remember maybe just 30% of what I read. So the more I read it again, so if you are someone like that, you know you need more time. And
Okay, not
this
yet.
at the professional level,
But yeah,
for you
I'm
to
about
ensure if you are writing five
to sleep.
papers, you need nothing less than 500
What
reading
about
hours. I'm not trying to scare you. I'm not trying to scare you. If you are writing five papers, if you are here, you are writing five papers, you need over 500, about nothing less than 500 reading hours. The reason why I said nothing less than 500 reading hours is you need at least 100 hours per course. Please, who is this person? Admin, let me see if I can meet the person. Don't distract my class,
Yeah, go
please.
and sleep now. Not listen second.
Okay, thank you. I've muted you. I use my admin rights. Okay, sorry about that. So, if you are someone like me now, that that kind of thing happens to, so the best thing for you is just to ensure that you are always reading. Your me when I was in my Ican, I was also pursuing an academic qualification then, so it was very rigorous, stressful. Imagine working 9 to 5, then I have to travel all the way. Whenever I'm done, I was doing my um tuition house was actually in Ibadan, so I had to like travel to Ibadan. Then trying to, I was also pursuing an academic qualification in Obafemi Awolowo University then. So imagine combining all of those things together. Time. Hardly do I associate, hardly do I, get to like have that time to like do some things together. Because the thing is, if you want to deep it very well, if you want to look at it well, there'll always be time for some of these things. The thing is, time is of the essence. Time is of the essence. If you say you want to associate with some friends, you want to go out, you want to do this, you always have the time. I mean, a lot of people that said, "Oh, you're a bad friend, you didn't reach out to me, you didn't do this," when I was writing my account. Then we are now good. We are friends now. So imagine I say because I want to please them, then I should now say, okay, that kind of thing. It's not just it at all. It won't make sense. So you need to major on the major and minor on the minor. I think that's the best. That's the best word to use. So I want to do something. Whatever haven't I spoken about? Please, apart from time, revision, revision, revision. You cannot take away the place of revision. So let me tell you one thing that works for me. I like to emphasize works for me. So it's don't say it's David that advised us to do this thing. No, it did not work. That's why I personalize it. That's my disclaimer. I'm a professional, right? So one thing that has worked for me and always worked for me is I go through. If I know the topic for the day, I go through it briefly. Just look at it briefly before I come to class. Then after I'm done in class, right, I now go and revise on what we have done. So the thing is, you have watered the ground. The grass is greener when you water it, right? Right. It's not until you move to another side. So the thing is, you have watered the grass, right? It makes it greener. Then when you now come to class, it now grows it. That class is the one that will grow it because you've watered it. So imagine we are talking about something now and you don't have a prior knowledge of it. The landing will be quite difficult. I remember the first time I was in a class that they were dealing with IS 12. It was like jargons. See, if you are here and you remember IS 12, let me see your hand. Let me see your reactions. IS 12, right? Let me see your reactions. IS 12. If you remember your IS 12, what's in IS 12? Firstly, we started though. Please, someone should help me. Go to the chat box. What is in IS 12? Don't go and check your AI or something. Don't go and browse it out. Another thing I would like to mention is that there's a reason why we have made this a Google Meet class, right? And it's really going to be interactive. It's really going to be interactive. I can call names. I can call names that, oh, please help me out on this. So you will see I make reference to the chat box. The chat box should be your friend. I can tell you to unmute. I mean, I'm the lecturer in this class, right? So I can tell you to unmute, to talk. I can tell you to. I like my class to be interactive. You cannot expect me to just keep talking and talking without getting reaction. I can get really tired because I think that's one of the downside of lecturing online. But in my physical class, I know how it's going to be interactive. There's no I'll be talking and all of that. So it will not make sense just for me to. And another very important thing is that I will only talk based on what I have had in mind to talk about. But if the class is interactive, you can make me talk about certain things that I did not even intend talking about. And it will also make you learn. So, for example, now I'm talking about, let me say, group accounts, complex group accounts. You know, we are doing complex group here. So, we are talking about complex group account, and probably we are looking at a D-shaped subsidiary. Then you have a direct holding a sub-subsidiary. You will not have just parent and subsidiary now. You'll be having fellow subsidiaries, you'll be having sub-subsidiaries, you'll be having even some group structure where there's a subsidiary. I mean, there's a parent, there's a subsidiary, and there's also a sub-subsidiary, and the parent is also having a direct interest in that sub-subsidiary. That's what we call the D-shape, sub-subsidiary shape, right? And I said, oh, I want to talk about this effective control. You know, you have to calculate the effective rate of control interest, I mean, controlling rate, right? And I did not intend talking about it, but the student just said, oh, how do you know the rate that you used to consolidate or the percentage of holding in that particular sub subsidiary? So, you know, I would have to explain, oh, there's an indirect control, there's a direct control. You see, by that, the student have made me explain what I did not even intend to explain before, right? So it's very important. Please and please, it's for your benefit. I can come to this class. If I lecture, talk for 1 hour and I leave based on what I've prepared to talk about, right? The at the end of the diet, I'll get paid, right? Nobody will say I did not lecture. But just for us to, it won't make sense just for me to come here 1 hour and I keep talking. There's no any I mean, there's no any interaction between us. There's no discussion that can actually actually go about um and that discussion that can actually lead me to educating us about some other things too. Someone is asking something in the chat box. But how do we do it when the website is not yet accessible to members? Please, in due time, that'll be fixed. That'll be fixed. I get for the video lectures, I believe the management are working on it to have a conversation with them also. But don't worry, you get added to the members area, you get video lectures as soon as possible. So thank you for that. I was going to actually do something. I want to share my screen, but just a moment, please. Just a moment, please. Um, I'm trying to share my screen. Please, once you see my screen, let me know. Okay. Please, once you see my screen, I would appreciate let me know. Hmm. I think I'm sharing my screen now, so you should have access to it. Okay, good. Sure, just give me a reaction. You can see my screen, give me a reaction. Okay, thank you very much. So you have it right there. Welcome to Style Good Academy. Strategic Business Reporting, Ican Professional Level 1. So Google Meet live class. This is just an introduction. My name is David Shonibare. These are my qualifications. I'm an ACA, I'm an ACTI, I have a master's in finance and BS in accounting, work/lecturing experience. I have 10 years of that. Please, if you are just joining us, drop a I in the chat box and let us know where you are joining. Very important. Let us know where you are joining us from. It's very, very important. Then I also spoke about Ican video lectures. I've done that for better understanding of the Google Meet lecture topics. You can get our video lectures, and it also includes solution to Ican past questions and Ican pathfinders. Reach out to these topics, reach out to these numbers on the screen that you can have there. Either chat or you reach out to call. You can also check through the Sarigon Academy website. So these are the class guidelines. I just briefly have to share that. For the best learning experience, minimize distractions. Put your phone on do not disturb mode. Just some of us calls can even me said I'm okay. My phone is on do not disturb. Who is this? Who is this? Okay, Mrs. has her hands raised. Please, you want to say something? Someone is raising their hand.
Not really, just indicating I'm in the class.
Oh, you are raising your hand. Okay, 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 okay. No, that's not what I actually meant. You could just send a reaction to that. Thank you very much, man. Okay. Oh, that being said, so you need to close unnecessary apps on social media. Those of us that actually TikTok, maybe X, and all of those things, just to avoid distractions. And very important, I spoke about this. Engage fully. This might be your only chance to grasp today's concept. Engage fully. Let's rub minds, talk, let's discuss in class. Whatever is a gray area, whatever you don't understand, please let's engage, let's talk about it. Right. So this particular class, this week's topic is regulatory framework, accounting reporting concepts, preparation of financial statements. Right. So that's what we are looking at in this particular class. So why is this particular topic important? To ensure consistency, transparency, comparability, and to also promote accountability and compliance. Look at what we are looking at now, regulatory framework. The thing is, you cannot have a particular, let me even, sorry, I'm delving into areas I did not intend to even go into yet. Still have about 20 minutes there about to spend in this class. So let me just, I was going to talk about certain things. SBR, as the course may be, strategic business reporting. Many of us, who has ACCA in this class? Who has actually passed ACCA and you're in this class? If you have passed ACCA and you're in this class, let me know, please. You're an ACCA member and you're in this class, please let me know. Raise your hands up. The reason why I'm asking this is that SBR is a course that many of us have passed through ACCA, which actually know about, is at the professional level of ACCA. That's the final level, right, of ACCA. So this particular course was formerly known as corporate reporting, but ICANN has actually rebranded this paper under the new syllabus. Why did they do this? They are doing this to reflect a more strategic and global perspective on financial reporting. You agree with me that financial reporting these days has gone beyond just crunching numbers. It has gone beyond just crunching numbers. We passed the days where we just say, okay. I mean, I was the other day someone was talking about a young chartered accountant who went for an interview, and they asked him, "Oh, what do you understand about financial instruments?" So, "Oh, financial instruments, these are contracts that give rise to contracts in a particular asset that gives rise to either a contract asset or probably a liability or an equity." Right? They were just talking about, these are, all of those things. We have various types of measuring financial instrument measured through that comprehensive income, at amortized cost, through the P&L, and all of those things. Talking about it, he was very smart and all. They asked, "Oh, what do you understand by, impairments? What do you understand by, a lot of things he was explaining." Now, after he had done all of this, very sound, very sharp, they now give him like a live question, like a live practical, stuff to deal with. Then he was just looking, is the theory I know? Which one is this? Right. So ICANN does not want their chartered accountant to be like that anymore. That's the thing. They don't want you to only be sound in terms of theoretical things. They want you to actually know how to apply all of these things in reporting context, strategic business reporting, right? You are not seen as a number cruncher again, right? Before now, if you look at corporate reporting, it was just all about being technical in terms of IFRS compliance. But SBR has made us go a step further. With SBR, you can now look at areas like testing your professional judgment, ethics, and even your strategic thinking behind the financial. So that's what SBR is all about. And if you look at SBR now, it's laying more emphasis on ethics and professional judgment. So you won't just be asked, oh, what's the standard say? Oh, what is the recognition criteria for PPE? What are the, all of those things. You'll be asked, oh, why does it matter? How does it affect stakeholders? What are the ethical implications there? Right? Those are the necessary things you are going to be asked, you are going to be, dealing with when it comes to SBR going forward, right? So many of us, if you are here and you have written, I'm not trying to mock you, and you have written corporate reporting before, please, I don't know, just give me a reaction. I know many of us might know. Let me say something. Let me say something in this class today. It's the fact that, okay, thank you very much, man. Thank you very much for being honest. Mr. Edo Abiodun, thank you very much. Mr. Peter Praise, I appreciate that. Mr. Oluwole Samuel, I appreciate that. Many of us, when we tend to reference courses, we don't get to be proud about. There's nothing to be proud about it, right? To be very honest, right? But please, I'm begging you, if you have referenced a call, it's a call to action for you. Let me just, if you are here, you follow me on LinkedIn, I don't know, but I've shared my story on LinkedIn before. I had reference in strategic financial management. When I wrote my first 5 papers, I passed only 2. I passed only corporate reporting and audit. As a matter of fact, I've not had in my academic professional days, I've not had to reference anything that has to do with debit and credit. Financial accounting, corporate reporting, I always pass. If I fail any other, I will always pass those things because I believe those are like generic things as an accountant for me. If I'm having to reference, I'm not saying you that you reference it, you don't know what you are doing. I'm talking about my own self, right? So I referenced strategic financial management and I had a very ridiculous score, 9%. And when the result came out, I was just thinking to myself, and before that time, I was actually lecturing, even in class, I teach people strategic financial management. I was thinking to myself, what could have happened? What could have gone wrong? So that's why I said ICANN is a whole lot of things. Preparation, a lot of things could actually determine your result, aside even you reading or something or being intelligent. The fact that you've referenced does not mean that you're actually dull. Right. And as a matter of fact, I had 9%, but today I lectured that course. So I lecture strategic financial management today. Right. So it's not about your mistakes, it's what actually you do after that. Now, if you call me to come and lectures, I can talk about referencing ICANN paper because I have been there. If you have not referenced ICANN paper before, you cannot understand the pain, right? You cannot understand. I've seen people that have referenced all papers that they wrote, or when I got my result, I passed only 2 out of 5. How do you want me to react? I referenced case study, and then case study was not the case study that you have now. There was no pre-seen. Very loud. I was at a speaking engagement last week at Lagos State University, and I was telling the students, you guys are very, very, very lucky because imagine you are writing ICANN now, case study without pre-seen. I mean, with pre-seen rather. Those days, when we get into the example, that's when we used to see the case study, right? We will now start to. There was something called reading time. I don't know if they still have that now. There was reading time then, 1 hour. For them to give you 1.5 hours for reading time, you should know what it means. 1.5 hour reading time. So reading time then was 1.5 hours. When you now start to be jotting, we had techniques that we used to like jot down points you don't want to forget. We highlight them, we jot them down somewhere because you cannot go through the case again and say, oh, this was where I saw this point. So immediately we are reading through the case, we are picking out vital points from it, writing it at the back of our mark and notes. When you come out, you'll be worn out, I'm telling you. So I believe you are quite lucky. You have pre-seen, you have a now, and all of those things. And it's very important for you to make the best of it. So referencing does not make you someone that probably don't know what you are doing, right? So please just let's go with that. And I trust this diet is your diet. You're going to pass it, and you're going to make it. Okay. That being said, I was talking about SBR. Now there's a greater integration with business strategy. There's a greater integration with business strategy. The thing is, modern day accountants, if you say you are good with journals, you are good with debit and credit, there's a particular software package that you don't even need to do anything, just upload your invoice. Well, many of us have heard about the e-invoicing that FIRS is actually introducing now. This is going to commence August 1st. Now, there are companies that are actually integrating that already. They've been able to get their API set, put into their integrated with their accounting packages and all of those things. But imagine you just generating an e-invoice and it's going through that platform, right? So imagine you're actually doing that, and trust me, if you have, if don't let me even digress, don't let me go to the e-tax, e-invoicing thing. That's a thing for maybe my taxation class or some other thing. Now, if you're actually looking at probably generating of journals, doing all of those things, just upload your invoice. I'm telling you, the accounting packages that will just help you generate the journals, that will help you prepare everything, post your final posting and everything, do it for you. Right? Now, if you not rely on that, oh, you're an accountant, you know debit and credit, you can do this, you can do that one. When there's accounting packages that can do that. Now, the area in which AI might not be able to replace accountants or finance professionals is the area of reporting, and that is what Ican is trying to do. Trust me, reporting is based on your professional judgment, right? And your professional judgment is actually I believe it's based on what you have actually put into yourself, your skill, your professional skill and competence to make informed decisions, right? So that's why in SBR you should be looking out for scenario-based questions now. Scenario-based questions that are actually tied to financial reporting, business decisions, performance, sustainability. Yes, you should be looking at areas like ESG. So let's look at some of the new developments in the syllabus with respect to SBR, moving from corporate reporting to SBR. I hope you are jotting one or two things down. So there's a new focus on sustainability reporting. As we all know, earlier this year, sustainability reporting became a mandatory thing among listed companies in Nigeria, right? So we now start to talk about what's the accepted framework of sustainability reporting. We have the GRI, we have the Nigeria NGX reporting initiative, NGX reporting guidelines. Also, there are a few guidelines that, and we also have in fact, ISB have integrated it into their own. So we have the S1 and S2, the general standards, and also the climate-related disclosures. Are we all hearing all of this for the first time? Please, if you have heard of this before, please give me reactions. Give me reactions. If you have heard of this before, give me. Thank you, Mr. Ismaila. Appreciate that. Is it the only one? So there are current developments in our syllabus now. You'll be looking at sustainability reporting, talking about climate-related disclosures, non-financial reporting. It's not only many of us have heard of management commentary, integrated reporting, sustainability reporting. All of these things you'll be looking at it in detail. They are now very highly testable. You'll be expected to interpret and evaluate those disclosures, and even if they aren't yet IFRS standards. Yes. So ICANN have also want a global relevance. That's the major reason why they are doing this. So you see that SBR, like I said earlier on, SBR aligns with ATCA's global standards, which actually, and so you should expect questions to simulate real world boardroom type of scenarios and all of those things. So what should you expect this diet? I'll just be giving us certain things you should expect this diet. You should expect one thing I believe, or let me say what you should know. Let me put it that way. You should master your IFRS. The reason why I said you should master it, I'm not trying to scare you. The reason why I said you should master your IFRS is you definitely cannot go into wider context of something you don't even understand the basic context of it. What I'm trying to say is that imagine you want to go into a scenario-based question, right? That deals with, let's say, which of the standards can I use? Let me say IFRS 5. IFRS 5. What's in IFRS 5? I want to use this to test. We've been relaxed, you've been hearing me. What is in IFRS 5? Let me call names. I think many of us are running. Should I call names? Or I should pardon you being the first class? What is in IFRS 5? Someone should quickly help us out on that. Time is not on our side. I still have certain things I need to touch on. No one to help. Okay. Let me make you understand. But it's poor IFRS 5 at professional level. You're already in the professional level and you have done some of these things at the skills level. Okay. Okay. Those of us that have
Okay.
a hand raised, you can just unmute and say something.
Non-current assets
I
held for sale.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. Non-current asset held for sales and disposal. Right. There are some criteria that can actually make us to classify some particular assets as a disposal group, or probably they are held for sale. Definitely, and all of those criteria is available at the current condition. It must have been, it's already in an active market. It is the sales is probable within the 12 calendar year, and many more. So let's assume you are being asked a question, a scenario-based question under IFRS 5. If you don't understand the theoretical, you are not very sound. You've not mastered the IFRS well. You will not be able to use some of those things to advise that client under that scenario-based question. So that's why we are saying you will not see questions like, oh, list out the five-step model, this and that, or someone will be asking you this, or what is the code of conduct for chartered accountant. No. Nobody will be asking you that again. You are moving to reporting. You'll be reporting. So I need to prepare our minds down now. You are moving to reporting proper. So please don't say I'm trying to scare you. All right. So you need to first master your IFRS well, because you must learn how to apply, you must learn how to explain, you must learn how to defend your treatments. So another thing is you must learn how to answer questions with clarity in your exam. We'll still look at this along the line. It's going to be a 12 weeks class, right? That's 3 months. It's going to be a 12 weeks class. So that's 3 months. And so you need to learn how to structure your answers with clarity, with structure, proper structure, and commercial awareness. Emphasis on commercial awareness. What I mean by commercial awareness is, can that particular answer that you have given stand the test of commerciality or business in terms of business in the business world, right? Is it practical? So that's what I mean by commercial awareness. Then you must also know how to play the role of reporting accountant. Put yourself in the reporting role, like you're reporting, you're advising board, you're advising investors, you're advising regulators. So you need to put yourself in the role. Those are the things I need you to know about. The other one is professional marks. You can, honestly, the thing is, these professional marks can actually make or break your scores. So you need to learn how to communicate like a strategic advisor. Like, for example, now if you're writing case study, they will tell you, avoid the use of first person pronoun. What I mean by the use of first person pronoun is I, right? Me. So, we, all those things are first person pronoun. So, for example, if you're actually writing a report now, you now say, or you're advising, I advise. So it's better for you to just say, okay, in our opinion, honestly. So you need to be very careful in terms of reporting. Those things can actually impair your professional marks. Don't worry, you still learn about some of these things. You learn about some of these things that you should not do or you should do. So what are the things you should look out for? Look out for integrated reporting framework, IFRS 15, IFRS 16 as CDL, IFRS 9, IFRS 10, application IFRS 18, IFRS 18. Please, who can help us? What is in IFRS 18? I'll catch all of us. Don't worry, I don't want to call names yet. My next class, don't worry. IFRS 18, I'm looking at the names. I'm trying to get familiar with them. You cannot run away, my class, except you when I call your name, you just log out. IFRS 18. What is in IFRS 18? Don't go and check it, or don't cheat yourself. If you don't know it, you don't know it. Or you'll still look at it. What is in IFRS 18, people? Okay, we have Madam Amarachi. Goodness, please unmute and say something. You have the floor. In IFRS 18, I didn't say IFRS 18. No. Hey, God. My first class.
So I said revenue
What did you say?
recognition.
Oh,
Revenue
IFRS
recognition.
18. No, Madam Amarachi, don't mute here too. Let's have a conversation. Please, someone has dropped the right thing, but I want to have a conversation with her. Please, unmute. Let's have a conversation, please. You said on revenue, it is on revenue. I didn't say IFRS 15, though. Why did you say I have revenue?
Okay, I stand corrected, sir.
Okay. Yeah. I like that. That's been open to learn. Because IFRS, that's one thing I used to say in my class, that there are no wrong answers. I want to know that's why I was asking, why did you say that? Right? Because the reason why I said there are no wrong answers in my
Yeah.
classes, if I say they are wrong, if I try to like make you feel bad, you might not respond, talk again in my class. So I don't like it. All answers are welcome. It's a brainstorming session. So I'll just tell you, this is why I think it is wrong, and this is how you should actually structure it and all. So that's the best way to learn, right? You made me remember
Okay.
revenue. Before there was a standard on revenue. I remember those that wrote during our days when we were writing our Ican, there was no IFRS 15. I'm very honest with you. There was no IFRS 15. We had revenue standard, that which was IAS 18. That's why I was scared when you said revenue, because the revenue standard I know is IAS 18, which is no longer in application. And we also have we had another very stubborn standard on revenue.
Okay.
Sorry,
Yeah.
IAS 11,
IFRS.
right? We had IAS 11 and we had IAS 18. IAS 11 was revenue from construction contracts. Then IAS 18 was revenue. So those two standards,
Revenue.
they are
They
very
have been
stubborn.
replaced.
Yes, they have been replaced with. So when the diet IFRS 15 came on board, we were so happy because if you know the stress IAS 18 took us to IAS 11, we have to be calculating percentage of completion or value of work certified. Those things were really stressful. So in fact, the diet we heard that they've replaced IFRS 15 has come on board to replace that particular standard. We're so happy. We're so happy. So IFRS 18 is going to replace IAS 1. When is the effective date? Mrs. Ifedayo Akimbobola, help us out, please. When is the effective date? Presentation and disclosure of financial statements, right? You got that correctly. So when is the date that it's become effective? Okay, while she helps us out on that, let's continue. Then we'll be looking at ESG and climate reporting, related reporting. We'll look at ethical dilemmas in financial reporting. Very important. Very important. Ethical dilemmas. You've considered all of this in CSME, right? And if you have passed CSME, don't worry, don't throw the knowledge of CSME away. You still need it here. Those ethical dilemmas. You still remember Greenway and Adams. You remember all those Henry Kohlberg stages of moral development. Yeah, thank you very much. 2027, January 1st, 2027. Please, that's another thing. Structuring your that's what I said, structuring your answers in the exam. Or imagine me asking her what's the effective date, and Mrs. Ifeda just said 2027. And she did not tell me. These are where we lose vital marks. So please take note of that. Right? So don't throw away those things that you have done in CSME, especially those ethical part of it. Don't throw it away, please. You still remember those absolutism, those things that we spoke about, relativism, those I mean, you still remember them now. Those stages of moral development. You remember Graywen and Adams. You remember what else is there? Remind me now. You are fresh from skills level. Do you know when I did my skill level exam last? And I've not lectured anything CSM in some years back. So, and I'm still remembering some of these things. All right, no time on our side. So also group account and consolidation scenario. Go and check November 2024. You to understand November 2024 CR question. It will give you a guide into what you should expect in XBR exam going forward. Please make it an assignment. I'm giving you that assignment now. Check question 2024, November 2024 diet examination, CR. You see that many of the group accounts was tested like SBR. That's how SBR question would be like. It was pure SBR. They just test run it that particular diet. So we still have consolidation issues here, still a big deal, but it's going to be scenario based. We have sustainability and stakeholder reporting. Sustainability will be everywhere. You'll be seeing it. AI. We also have current issues, development in IASB. So I want you to, before we leave, we've spent 13 minutes more than the time we should be spending, although we did it at the beginning of the class. So I'm expected to end this class max 8:15. All right. So please take this class very seriously. And I believe the reason why I did not really put much emphasis on this particular topic for today is because of I know that we are quite familiar. Just go run through it. Reporting, regulatory framework, accounting reporting concept, materiality concept, going concern, matching concept, all of those things. Then how should we present the financial statement look like, right? We are not yet using IFRS 18, right? We are not yet using IFRS. So we can still stick with IAS 1, which has, you look at the element of the financial statement. You also look at the classification of items on the financial statement. You look at classification of financial statement. So how many places can we classify financial statement to? Classification of financial statement. We also look at elements of the financial statement, also like expense, income, asset, liabilities, all those things. So please just go and peruse through it. Don't say because of it's in the question first listing of the diet that they cannot test it, right? So please don't say that. Always go through it. Can you see overview of the regulatory framework, right? Key accounting concept and principles. We'll be explaining fundamental accounting concept. That's what we should have done today. But of course, we need to understand these things well. Explanation of fundamental accounting. We need to understand some of the things I've spoken about before you can then go into some of these things, right? So how these concepts influence accounting judgment and policies, real life implications of violating these principles. Yeah. So talking about the presentation of financial statement, like I said, we look at per IFRS. Sorry, this should not be per IFRS. It should be per IAS 1. We are not yet using IFRS 18. Structure and components of a complete set of financial statements according to IAS 1. Right? So please, if you have any question, you can drop it in the chat box. And looking at our weekly question, it's going to be dropped. Our weekly practice questions is going to be dropped on the Telegram platform. It's going to be on the members area. So I think on that level, I'll be expecting feedback. If you have any question, gray areas, what you want to talk about, the next 2 minutes, let's use it for that. So you have the floor. Madam Amarachi, you have the floor, ma'am.
No, sorry, sir. Okay, I forgot to bring down my hand. It was when I wanted to answer IFRS 15. Sorry. I don't. Okay, thank you.
So, do you have any other person? We need answers.
Good evening, Mr. Sobani.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Shonibare. Thank you so much, sir.
Well done, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for another new commencement for the November diet. Pray may the
Yes.
Lord see us through. Please, I really want to confirm. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you clearly.
I really want to confirm
Mm.
the course changing from corporate reporting to strategic uh, business. So, is
Yes,
it
sir.
just changing of name or the content of the course outline have also changed in line with it? So that if you can really get the full course outline, that the core area and that is having the 30 marks or so thereabout. So that other would
Okay.
that will be having 20 marks and other that will having 15 marks to make sure the 100 marks
Okay.
that we are going to face in the
Okay.
exams. So we really appreciate that area. And secondly, the membership area, because we have been a long time member of very good academic students. The membership area is
Okay.
not well functioning for now. If you could help us out with the management
Yes.
and the airport listing that so that will be our weekly question and answer as usual and the solution so that we can
Mm.
correct ourselves with what we have done in that area. And secondly, the success blueprint for that year in line with the current new to 2025 Ican syllabus. So we also need it so that we can go back to study and so that the skies will be our
Okay.
limit. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Do we have any other person now to talk? I want to take all the questions together so that we'll answer them all together because of our time. Time is not on our side. Do we have any other
Good evening, sir.
person? Good evening. Good evening, sir.
Yeah, well, is my name, sir. I just want to add to what that my brother asked because I actually
Okay.
dropped a question at the chat box, but I guess you
Okay.
didn't see it. I
Oh,
wanted to
sorry about
know
that.
the specific difference between corporate reporting and strategic business reporting. Probably what are the changes? What should we focus on? What additional things should we be doing now? Because I understand that this FBR have been one of the I did ACCA for a long time, but I have to
Okay.
drop it because of some circumstances.
Okay,
So
sir.
I discovered that SBR is one of their professional course also at the
Yes,
ACCA.
yes.
So I want to know, are we going to be expecting that standard or ICANN standard is going to be a bit lower, and how do we actually handle differences? Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. That's noted. Any other question? Any other question? So I can quickly attend to my first question. So I would use someone is saying something.
Sorry, sir. Please, good evening, sir. Thank you
Good
so
evening,
much.
sir.
Yeah, please, will the weekly, like now, as I finish this lecture, maybe for because of us that were the thing was cracking at one point, will the lecture be made available on the website?
You mean this
Quickly,
particular video, this class
yes,
is
because
recorded?
I can see
It's
that it's
actually
recorded.
recorded, so you can reach out to the admin to have the
Oh,
replay.
all right, sir. Thank
Yes, sir. Is that all? Let me answer the question. So, firstly, for those of us that are asking about the content in terms of SBR, so that's why I just tried. I believe I summarized everything that you should be looking out for in the context now, how the syllabus have actually changed. The problem now that we're having is, most tuition houses are actually having is that the study materials are not out yet. But we are very much aware that I can benchmark ACC in terms of SBR. So we are using SBR syllabus as it stands for ACC. And everything that we have seen is that it is the same thing. Corporate reporting that, as a matter of fact, I'm telling you that if you have corporate reporting material pack before and you are studying it as it is now, and you now pick SBR, maybe a 2 weeks or 1 week to the exam, you will still pass the exam. The reason why I say you still pass the exam is that you will just need maybe like a 10% or 15% of things to just read to it. And your structuring of your answer, you are now reporting And the major thing is that it's many of your questions will come in scenario based. That's why I said you should go and check November 2024 question. You see, it will give you a bit of a glimpse into what ICANN wants to do with SBR. And in respect to whether it will be lower, I don't think it will be lower. Telling you, I don't think it will be lower. ICANN is fond of doing one funny thing. When ICANN wanted to start testing case study in 2014, ICANN benchmark a lot of institutes, benchmark ACCA, benchmark. They went to meet them, Institute of Southern Canada, England and Wales. Institute of Southern Canada, England and Wales specifically told ICANN that please don't yet begin case study. It took us about 20-25 years before we could start to test case study in our exams. That chill, prepare well. You know that the next year ICANN started case study and when they now did the next syllabus review in 2019, prior to 2021, you not believe what ICAW told ICANN, that in as much as they told ICANN not to start this, ICANN continued case study. They did that case study, and they even said that the case study that ICANN was testing was even harder than their own case study. That their own case study had pre-syn. ICANN did not put pre-syn inside. So I don't want you to say it can never be lower. I can bet anything on it. It can never be lower. You should do your institute. It will never. They used to overdo. General Nigerians like to make things harder for ourselves. So that's a normal thing for us. So it will never be lower. So that was when ICAW, all those institutes told ICANN that, do you want to kill these students? We are, even with that introduced this course that you are benchmarking, we are using pre-syn. You just carry 30 pages of case, give it to the students inside the exam, and you're expecting them to come up with a standard report within 4 hours. That you want to kill them, then ICANN said, okay, no problem. Going forward, we'll start introducing pre-syn. And that is how ICANN add pre-syn in their case study, which is still there till today. So left to that, they wouldn't have put it. So expect the hardest for SBR. I'm not trying to scare you, but you should know them. They're always extra. They are always extra. So the thing is, SBR now, it's more of a scenario based. It will have sustainability reporting. It will have a lot of ethics embedded in it, business advisories embedded in strategy. So gone are those days where I can be asking you that, oh, what is the 5-step model for revenue recognition? Now they can just come and tell you that, oh, business, you are an audit trainee in social business, and that business, they have just received a client. The client has told them that they are struggling with revenue, or they paint a scenario that transaction one, if you not do this, please, who is this? I don't like that in my class. It causes distraction. I think I've been able to mute the person. It causes distraction, please. So they can just come and say, okay, give you those series of transactions, then they not tell you using. I don't know any of us that have written IFRS. I lectured that particular, this thing, diploma in IFRS. I've lectured it before. I don't lecture it again. I used to lecture students for diploma in IFRS. And if you say proper question in diploma in IFRS, you will understand what I mean. That IFRS I can actually do something similar. They will not tell you where the area they are testing that standard from. They will never tell you the standard that has been tested. Just one transaction or one particular scenario can examine more than 4 standards together. So they will not tell you, according to your appropriate standard, advise the client. So that's a proper SBR question. I'm telling you, that's a proper SBR question. So everything that you need now is already in the pack. They are not removing anything. I can bet you with that. ICANN is not removing anything from your pack. They are just going to introduce ethics, sustainability, all of those things, GRI, IM, S1 and S2, all of those things. They are just going to then maybe a bit of recent trends, AI, all those things. They are going to put it there for you. So that's what they are not removing anything from that. If you have corporate reporting pack as it stands now, nothing is going to be removed. It's just going to be added. So that is the major reason why we cannot say we don't want to lecture yet. But we lecturers know what to expect. Scenario-based questions. Scenario-based questions. That's what you will expect. It's strategic business. You are reporting. So you cannot be reporting in numbers. You report those, you first of all get those numbers. That's why I said you need to have the technical know-how This is before Ican used to lay emphasis on, oh, calculate or prepare the group account. Now they will be going more into, reporting, more of reporting. You might not even have to even be doing. I'm telling you, I look forward to this diet a lot. I'm not trying to scare you, but I really look forward to it. I really look for. I hope I've been able to give you a glimpse of what you should expect. Anyways, I hope. Then for the members area, trust the management are actually on it, and trust me, it will be restored very in this shortest period. It's going to be restored. So I think I've touched all the questions, and in the um case of no any other question, the next week topic that we are going to be looking at, so that you can read ahead of the class, we are going to be looking at, sorry, just a moment. I was there not too long. Let me check it again. Oops, sorry about that. I exited there. So just a moment, please, while when I try to bring it out. Sorry. Okay. Just a moment, please. We have about 3 topics that we're looking at next week, so I don't want to skip anyone. So that's why I'm taking my time to go through them again. Okay. I think I've seen it already. So next week we'll be looking at oh, sorry, I want to open something else. Apologies about that. So next week we'll be looking at beyond financial reporting. Right, beyond financial reporting is those recent trends, sustainability reporting. Please don't miss it for anything. Management commentary, integrated reports, and all of those things. So we'll be looking at it. Then we'll also look at IES 8, changes in accounting estimates, errors, and impact of changes in policy. So those are the topics we are going to be looking at next week, and they can be found in chapter 5, 6, and 7 of our video lectures. So please go through. You know what you are going through now is chapter 1 to 7 of your video lectures, because I doubt you've gone through chapter 1, 2, 3, 4 to look at some of those things we have spoken about today. So now in your video lectures, you're going through chapter 5, 6, and 7. So those are the areas you should expect to be. I expect you to be looking at. So thank you for joining today. We've spent more than the time we should be spending. I hope I get paid my extra time. With that, it will be a bye for now. Thank you. Do have a
Thank you,
great
sir.
evening. See you next week.
We appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
You, and God bless you.